Hey there, my name is Ash Shukla, and I like to say namaste and welcome to Financial Chakras, Abundance Through Alignment. And today I have a guest here. His name is Jaden Starling, and we had an amazing conversation the other day. And I just wanted to welcome him here, and I want to say thank you so much for all of you for being here on my podcast. With that in mind, I want to say, Jade, thank you so much, buddy, for being here. I
My
really, really
pleasure.
appreciate you. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Ash. Looking forward to it.
Same here, my friend. So, as we were discussing, I want to discuss a little bit about, as we both know, that as people, around the world, people, there are a lot of people who want to do things in their life, right? And they are just having hard time, doing it, if you will. And sometimes it's a fear, sometimes it's anxiety, and things like that. Okay. So we are going to go through that today and really understand how alignment with money really works today. So those of you who are listening, I want to let you guys know that just appreciate you and I love you very much. And I can't wait to share some secrets with you today. So, Jaden, let's start introducing you, my friend. I would love to let people know where are you from, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Maryland, specifically Gibson Island. So I grew up on the Eastern Shore and had a great childhood. Really enjoyed it. Everything was all hunky dory until my parents divorced, and then at age 12, my life changed dramatically. We had to move off the island into a little rental townhome with my mother, my twin brother, and I, and things got tough. It was like I saw my mom struggle to put food on the table. And it was in those moments where I said to myself, I'm going to figure out this money thing, because not having it is not any fun. So I came from Maryland. My roots are there, but right now I'm living, have been for the last 15 years in British Columbia, Canada, because I met my wife I was speaking at an engagement in Calgary, Alberta, and she was in the audience, and now we've been married ever since. So we realized our marriage works better when we live in the same country. So I came up to Canada.
Wow, that's amazing, my friend. I didn't know you were from Maryland, by the way.
Yeah.
That's good to know. That's really good to know. So when it comes to your background, like I know you grew up here in Maryland. Now you're in Canada, if you will, and I'm sure Canada is hot there right now, I assume.
It is. It's like 35 degrees Celsius. What is that in Fahrenheit? I don't know, 88, 90, something
Yeah,
like that.
90 some degrees. So
Yeah.
same here. So at least I'm glad that I'm meeting a somebody who is as warm as I have been. So I appreciate that. Jaden, my friend, do you have children?
Yes, two step up kids, ages 22 and 23, and they've just been amazing. And when I met my wife, the kids were 6 and 8, and right away I started talking about money at the dinner table, and specifically the different levels and layers of money, which I'm excited to jump into the show with you today and share with the audience, because I help them get into their consciousness the idea that money can work for them instead of them always working so hard for money.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. So, do you find let's talk about your background a little bit, right? In terms of your background is concerned, I know that. So tell me a little bit about your background. Let's start there first.
So at 14, I had an epiphany. Ash, if you've ever had an epiphany where time stands still and you just know deep within certain things, and that's what happened. I was in my mother's townhome, and I came down the stairs and no one was in the house, but yet a big boombox was on her dining room table with a cassette playing. I know I'm aging, like I'm going way back, and the cassette was Wayne Dyer. And I found myself transfixed in front of this boombox. And in like a flash of an eye, I had a download, a premonition, a knowing, something like that took place. And I was told 3 things very specifically. I was told I will be speaking on stages around the world about money, specifically helping people become empowered by it, not enslaved by it. And lastly, they told me, or the universe told me, that I would be doing this from personal experience, not from a book I read or course that I took.
Mm.
So, I mean, if you could imagine, like, it was interesting. And I have followed that path my entire life. I took it to heart. I realized I was like, it was so empowering for me that I could not follow it. So it's why I went to school at American University in DC and studied finance. It's why I worked on Wall Street and ultimately built an investment firm, 12 and a half million dollars. So it's been an incredible journey. That's why I'm a money mentor to many, many people today, and it's just been amazing.
That's amazing, my friend. That's really amazing. So tell me about money when
Yeah.
you are growing up, or when you are, when you think about money, right? And when you think about Wall Street, because people believe that money is evil, and money is like really this disgusting thing that that we handle per se, right? And people have relationship with money in so many different ways. So what do you find to be truth here, especially because you are from Wall Street, right? So
So I find that I'm also an intuitive. That's probably pretty obvious, and
yeah.
based on my story. And I am a direct channel. So I am very connected to the non physical dimension just as much as I'm connected to the physical. And what I've been guided to know about money is that it's neutral. It's not the words that you had said, evil, anything like that. The energy of money is neutral, and the energy changes every time it changes hands.
Mm-hmm.
So as you receive money, as you give money, the energy of that money is shifting. And the other thing is, what I know to be true is um, money is not vindictive. It's not. It, it's like an energy that is very neutral at the basis, and as you move up layers and levels of money, it actually becomes more in alignment with the highest vibratory emotions of love, joy, and gratitude.
Mm.
So if anyone has this belief that money is evil, then there's a good chance they might be struggling with money.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would money beat a path to their front door if they already are trying to repel it with their belief system? Rather,
Absolutely.
money will beat a path to your door and bring all its friends when you start to open up to the idea that money is energy and money is a tool and it can do great things for you. And I think it was Helen Keller who said, "You can never go broke by giving."
Mm. I
And
love that.
isn't that powerful? So as someone shifts their belief systems around money, or at least opens up to the idea that money at the very minimum is a neutral energy, and at the very maximum it's aligned with love, joy, and gratitude,
Yeah.
then you start to work with, okay, money is coming your way. So that's been my journey with money, and it's always served me to think of money in the highest level. I don't mean I put it on a pedestal, not at all. But what I do is I use it as a tool to buy assets for my business, for my life, to make life easier. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely. So when it comes to, so so what you're saying really is that, so I find like this, when people come to me, at least for my work, and I'm sure for your work as well, right? They believe it's all about the feelings and the beliefs that they are carrying around the money, and they believe the money is making money is hard for me. Like, one of the exercises, I don't know if you know this, Jaden, but actually have a calculator that I take people's, like, to help people measure their emotions, right, in money, or measure their emotions in dollars and potential in dollars. So when I go through that particular exercise, I find that exactly what they're feeling, and what they're thinking about money, and how they're, what they're really going about it. And I find that most of the time they're literally repelling money. Like, I had another podcaster that I was literally, like, just listening to, and he was talking to the guest. Guest is telling him that I'm happy to do this with you, and I'm happy to do that with you, and this happening live, right? But what was happening is that he kept on saying no to that. He's
Oh,
like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that on live on camera. So what he's doing is he is literally, he's literally repelling money by default,
yeah.
right? And then yeah, he's doing good. He makes good money. That's not an issue. But what he was doing is he was literally on camera repelling what was coming to him with ease and flow. So I think that also, would you say that, so myth number one is money is it's doesn't come to you with easily. Myth number one, right, that they don't teach you in school, is that they teach you have to work hard for your money, and that's the only way to get the money, and things of their nature. Where what I'm finding, based on what you're telling me, is that you just have to open up and let the money come in and let it energy, and then you become the channel as to how you're going to guide it, basically.
Well, you raised a couple good points. I mean, if the path to making money was through hard work, every ditch digger would be worth a fortune.
I love that. I absolutely
So
love that.
so so we know
Yeah,
that is not the path.
no,
And when you talk about opening up, so this is how it's done. I'm going to give your audience like these ninja style techniques because they
yeah,
work. And like, just hear me out here. So money responds to vision. And when we have a vision, an inner vision, and you know what type of vision I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, with your eyes open, Ash, and our listeners, visualize your kitchen. Can you do it? Can you see your kitchen?
yes, I can see my kitchen.
Okay. That is using that internal vision. And when you are envisioning a life that you want, it's so important to be crystal clear about the vision, because there are so many layers and levels to money. Like, if you want to be a millionaire versus a decamillionaire, which is a $10 million net worth, you're going to go about each very differently. You're
Mm,
going to invest your time and your resources differently. It's not difficult to be worth $1 million. Now, if you step it up to 10 million, which is not difficult either, it just requires a different skill set.
mm.
So I think, if we look at this three secret thing to wealth that we're not taught in school, I would say number one is vision. Have a clear vision of what you want to create. And I'll never
Absolutely.
forget, like, I was working for a Wall Street firm. I was like in my mid 20s, and my vision was to own a home. And I wanted to have that home on the water. And I would envision walking on the hardwood floors. Like, I could feel them under my feet. Like, I utilized every sense that I had. And I just saw myself living in a beautiful home on the water, big windows, floor to ceiling windows. And sure enough, within a very short period of time, probably 60 days, my realtor calls me up and says, I think I've got the perfect home for you. Now, it was a townhome. It was within my budget. It was my very first property that I ever bought. It was within my budget, but yet it was on the water. It had floor to ceiling windows. The only difference was it had concrete floors. So I just put hardwood floors in, and my vision was fulfilled. So that's why I say to everyone, it's not difficult. It's not hard work to achieve your financial goals. You just have to understand what goes into it. And step one, definitely vision. Does that make sense, Ash?
I absolutely love that. I 100% agree, right? Because it is so crucial to have that with complete clarity. Because what you did there is you truly went into manifestation, and you manifested your perfect home, right? And then you took the steps after it, right? Because some people say manifestation, you sit down and you just dream about things. That's not manifestation, guys. Those of you are listening, right? Because manifestation requires certain frequency to make it work. And I always teach, Jaden, is that manifestation requires three different frequencies. One, you have the goal frequency, what you want to accomplish, which you had very clear. crystal clear. Is to have a beachfront property with a big windows and all that, a completely clear picture. Second thing it requires is actually gratitude frequency and thankful of having that particular home, and be in the grounded methodology. And so the like I always say, feeling, thoughts, beliefs, actions as if you already have it, and you already embodied that, just by doing that. Like, you did it maybe unknowingly, but that's what you did, right? And
Mhm.
then you went to work, like, you got into action, so action frequency has to match, and you did all three, like, in such a perfect manner. And I tell
Mhm.
people that if you really want your vision to come true, think of it like a perfect sandwich. you know think of your perfect sandwich, where in the middle part of the sandwich you have anything that you want. For me, I'm vegetarian, so I like lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, and some ketchup and jalapenos. I am Indian, I love lots of jalapenos, okay? So so lot of jalapenos, okay, maybe some cheese and things of the nature. And to me, that would be a good start of a very good sandwich with the amazing two buns on the side. So one side of the bun is your gratitude frequency, other side of the bun is your action frequency. And when you make that perfect sandwich, and
Mm.
your mouth is watery just thinking about it, and when you come to that vision with that clarity, you can have anything that you want. And my friend Jaden, congratulations on that first home. I really love that, by the way. So first
Thank
tip,
you.
what they don't teach you in school is how to make good sandwich, really good sandwich. Okay. And second tip, and more importantly, they don't teach you how to have a proper vision, which is a perfect sandwich. Okay, so that's the first tip for you. All right, would you say, what else would you say you've learned about money, right? And I'm having fun with you because like, we are both from the same profession. So
Yeah.
but what's the second lesson you learned when it comes to money, right? What would be the second lesson?
So, Ash, I spent probably a good year actually channeling the energy of money and asking these questions. And one day, I get a lot of my downloads right before I wake up. So, you know how you're kind of in that groggy state, like your head doesn't
Mhm.
leave the pillow yet, and you're just kind of coming back off maybe out of a dream state kind of thing. And it was that moment that my dog came just screaming into the room.
That's perfectly fine.
You're right,
Hello, what's his name?
Jet,
Jet.
Jet.
Hey, Jet.
Yeah, he's a good boy. Um, so I asked the universe, I asked money, tell me about you. Like, what is it that people need to do in order to attract you? And in that moment, I got two distinct feelings simultaneously. The first one was the feeling of creativity. And I thought, well, that's really interesting because, that's the feminine side of the body. The left is feminine's, where the side of the body that the heart's on. Um, and it takes some creativity to attract money. Like, money's really perfectly aligned with that. And I said, okay, what's the next thing? And the next thing, the feeling, again, simultaneously, it's like these two juxtaposition feelings. The other one was discipline. And discipline is interesting because that's a masculine energy, right side of the body. So, oftentimes we see deities that are like this, right? Where, you one hand is giving energy, the other is receiving. So this whole idea around playing with the energy of creativity and discipline, I would say, is the second thing that I would really hone in on if someone's interested. So here's an example. If you know any great, like, you hear the term starving artists, right? Artists who are so creative, so good at their craft, but they don't have the discipline to show up and actually sell their artwork. And then we know people on the other side that are just so disciplined, just like really analytical people, but they lack the creativity to create something that they could sell. So when you have that really perfect blend of masculine and feminine energy, and you know this about the chakra work, how powerful it is once you get everything moving through the body. Money responds to that in a big way.
Yes, it surely does, right? And I think that, when it comes to money and the financial frequency, as we are talking about it, And as we are, so one of the things I teach, is daily disciplines, because I think what happens is we don't believe. So it's feelings, thoughts, beliefs, actions. They don't come into alignment, and until they don't come into alignment, it makes it very difficult. So the frequency is not matching, and to match that frequency, like how you came about it. Every morning you ask a question or a
Yeah.
couple of questions to really like embody it and bring it to reality, right? And something like that, Jaden. One of the things that I end up doing, as I teach people, there are 5 or 6 different practices that you should do on a daily basis. So first in the morning, like I personally do gratitude every day, like 10
Mm.
random gratitudes, not pre-planned, just random. Thank you, pillow. Thank you for my bed sheet. Thank you for my wife. Thank you for my dog. Thank you for my. It's a different random gratitude. So when you wake up, your mind activates, right? Like with the gratitude. Then we talk about. I don't know if you know about a whole opener prayers. But so those of you who don't know, it's a basically a simple prayer that you can do, and all it's a 4 sentences. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. So think of your best friend that you are saying sorry to, and how would you, if you did something bad and your best friend is mad, how would you get them to come back to you? You will say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And this is what I so 108 times. If you do that, then it begins to build up your inner being and frees you up. Think of it like a broom. It cleans out everything that's needed. And then we say, okay, after that, make sure you drink, you visual, like look at your vision board on a daily basis, right?
Mm.
In my practice, like a vision board. And then I say, okay, and then throughout the day, drink a magic water. Like, you may have water bottle, and you write on the water bottle whatever, like your emotions you want to embody. So you write those emotions, and then you drink that water, right, throughout the day. And then here's the best part, right? Whenever you feel down, right? Whenever you feel down and you have negative thoughts coming, you just say cancel, 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 because your mind cannot delete. You can only cancel, right? And
So
then when you are going down for that day, so is literally just sit up and say double happiness, right? And when you do that, when you do that, it just erases, right? What do you say to that? Like, don't you think that's like what you I love your exercise, by the way. I'm gonna start doing it first thing in the morning. I
yeah.
absolutely love it, so
Nice.
I love it, my friend. So thank you for that,
My pleasure. Yeah. I
yeah,
like
yeah,
I like what you said. There's so many intention, and intention is key, isn't it? Being intentional about the practice and showing up for it each and every day is really
yeah.
good too. Helpful.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then in the last, in the third biggest point that we want to make, they don't teach you this in school, guys. Listen, if when you're listening to this podcast, I want to let you know they do not teach you this in school. Okay, they don't say do double happiness. They say sit down and listen. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
So they don't say, well, do cancel in the middle of the class. You can't do that, right? Or or for that matter, right? But then again, many times I find that respectively to teachers, they're amazing people,
Yeah.
but they themselves are not taught, and that's the sad part. Would
Their
you agree
hands
with
are
that?
tied. They're told what curriculum to teach.
Yeah,
And in fact, we have many teachers who go through our classes in our software platform, and they love it. And they tell me all the time, I would love to teach what I'm learning from you, but I can't. My hands are tied. And that's
right.
unfortunate. So that's why people are finding shows like yours, Ash. So it's awesome the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much for that. And what would you say the last tip that we can give them?
I think the last one is to talk about what they don't teach us in school is, how we're wired. We are electromagnetic beings. And our heart center is the largest manifesting organ in the body, not the brain, not the head, nothing like that. In fact, the heart trumps the brain by a factor of 5,000. The good folks over at Heart Math Institute has done this research. And they've measured the energy from the heart. And when someone's in meditation, it goes out to over a kilometer outside of the body. That's how far the energy field has been measured. Probably goes out even further in meditation. So when we understand that we're built in a way to be a feeler, that I would say the very last thing is put your heart into it. Start coming from a place of love for what you want to accomplish ahead of time. And that's the key. Most people say, oh, I'll get there once I achieve my goal, then I'll be happy. And that's not how the universe works. Rather, use what you have, which is your powerful magnetic resonancy and heart center. Put that out for what you want to accomplish, and you will see it come faster than you can ever imagine.
Wow, 5,000 times. The heart center it goes 5,000 times the field. Wow, that's amazing. I will have to look up the research. Those of you are listening, you should look up the research, right? And it's
Yeah.
very, very crucial. And when you do all these things, right, would you say that money flows to you easily, when you are really in a zen zone? And like from a for many people it may sound like, oh my god, like, is that simple? And the thing is, guys, those of you who are listening, I want you to know that it is that simple to attract money, right? So first step is the magic. You have to believe in the magic, right? And this is what we've been talking about, me and Jaden, is magic. Because what you want is conviction. You want conviction. You want to be sure that, oh, when I do these things I make money, right? When I do these things I attract money. You want to be sure.
Yeah,
First step is
Ash,
magic.
I'm not sure it's magic. I think it's universal law.
It
I
is
think
universal law.
I think we're talking universal law
Yeah,
in terms of our conversation
sure.
today. And when people wrap their minds around how they're built
Yeah,
and start to recognize that it's not a matter of attracting money, it's a matter of generating. We are
I
the
agree.
generators of it.
Yeah,
And we
yeah,
generate by giving first, give that giving energy,
yes,
being of service,
yes,
doing things like this. Like, we don't know what will come from the energy that we're putting out right now. It
sure.
creates this beautiful ripple effect, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely creates a beautiful ripple effect, right? So what I'm referring to, Jaden, is that from a magic point of view, right? Magic is a word that I use. So it truly is magical when you are really meditating and feeling the feeling as if you already have it, right? And it's a practice. I think that most people misunderstand that it's not a one-time thing. It's not something you think about one time. You have to believe in that magic within yourself and bring it to life as if you already have it from the beginning. Then comes logic, right? So then comes second piece is the logic, right? The masculine side you're talking about, the discipline that is so important, right? So one is a little bit feminine side, and the other one is a little bit more masculine side, and people have a hard time believing that. But third thing that comes into play, guys, is science, right? Because sometimes you just need the right science. And the reason I had, me and Jaden, we've been talking today is because he built I believe one of the most like a sophisticated softwares that I have seen, and I absolutely love what he built. And he has truly created a science on how to truly, like, if you are a bad, like, you are literally like thinking about picking stocks, or you don't know what to do. Obviously, we both of us cannot give you any financial advice, right? However, we can tell you that tools exist for you. If they're easier today than ever before, right? Whether it's on internet, you can even ask ChatGPT, what will be good today, and it will give it to you most likely, right? Or even Grok or some other platform, if you will.
Mhm.
But that being said, when you have a software like what he has built, is absolutely amazing. So let's get into that scientific reason, the measurements that you have developed, Jaden. Let's talk about your software, my friend. So what would you say that your software does?
Well, our tagline is it helps novice investors invest like experts.
Ooh,
So people who are brand new to investing, maybe they have some fear or trepidation around it. They're not really sure what to do because let's face it, money is a confusing, particularly investing in stocks. It's a confusing topic, or at least it can be.
right.
And so what we do our very best to bring things down to a level that is understandable, easily relatable, where people can start investing some money that makes a difference for themselves. And heck, I mean, Ash, we could go on and on with what they don't teach us in school around money, right? And one of the things that we focus on, that I've been doing this for 37 years, and what I know to be true is a focused portfolio, concentrated portfolio in only a handful of stocks can make someone wealthy.
Mm.
So we help someone align with their risk tolerance and their personal values and match those with some of the world's greatest companies to invest in. And our results have been fantastic. We are fully transparent on our results. In fact, we publish them on our home webpage, which is sterlingstockpicker.com. And so it shows on if you were to go there, you'll see that we've outperformed the sector averages by 50% and in the last 30 days. And we're very proud of that. That's based on all the work that our software is doing for people rather than having the people do the work.
I absolutely love that. So, what I would love to do is, so first of all, how did you come up with the concept? Let's go into that a little bit, and then, we can show them the software a little bit, right? And those of you who are interested in purchasing it, I'll put the link in the description of the podcast and things like that. Feel free to, subscribe to that, and and have fun with that. Okay. So, go ahead, my friend. So let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, my life purpose was to teach people about money. So, long time ago, I put courses together on teaching people how to invest. And one of my students said to me, I love what you're teaching me. Could you make this into software? And I thought, oh, well, I don't know. It's a great question, but I'm not a programmer. So let me see how I could do that. So then I just put it out there to the universe, and sure enough, within 6 months, one of my students came to me and he said, I'm a computer programmer and I have a partner, and our business is kind of slowing down. Do you have anything that you're working on that you would need help with? And I said, wow, funny that you ask. I actually do have something. I have this vision of what I want to create. And I got together with the two guys. This was 8 years ago. And we got together and we talked about what we wanted to create, making an impact in people's lives in a positive way. They both signed on and they are my partners to this day. And we've been, that's how Sterling Stock Picker came about 8 years ago.
I love that. So, what are some of the things that Sterling Stock Picker does? And those of you who want to know, like, this is what it is, right? Sterling Stock Picker right here. So, can you tell a little bit about what does it actually do for people, and how easy you have made it here?
Yeah, like from there you're looking at our home screen. So there's always this welcome message. It welcomes you and it asks, what would you like to do today? So here are the options with our software. You can go through our database and pick stocks. You can go right to winning stocks. The software, because of our AI financial expert here, it remembers what's in your portfolio, what's on your watch list, all that good stuff. And then it will suggest stocks for you. And then it just goes on and on. We've got a built-in portfolio assistant that will help you craft a portfolio of 6 to 8 companies that are in alignment with you and your vision. And then we have the stock forum, which I'm in here every single day answering questions for folks who, are currently using the platform. Here's my partner answered a question from a few days ago. And then people can post, what stocks they're looking at and what they're considering. So it's a very interactive community. We've really worked hard on bringing that to fruition. And then every single week, I am live streaming through this platform on Mondays. It's right here. They can log in through the app or the desktop. And I talk about the markets. I talk about what I'm personally buying, the reasons why I'm buying the stocks, and, all that good stuff.
I love that. I love that. And I'm going to assume, Jason, Jaden, you don't do any financial advice. I'm going to assume that, correct?
I do a ton of neck sticking out. I do a ton of it because, hey, I've been doing this 37 years. There's a thing
Yeah.
or two I've learned along the way, and I freely share that information to my community.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
of course. You share the information, and it's up to them on what to do, right?
Yeah.
And it's not advisory, but it's more of helping, and really understanding how things really work. that's something that they definitely don't do in school. Absolutely not, right?
That's
So
right. That's
yeah,
right.
I absolutely love what you're saying, my friend, and I love
Thank
your
you.
software, by the way. So those of you are interested, I'll put the link in the description for sure, so you guys can have it, right? And Jaden, I know I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking this valuable time and
My
really
pleasure.
sharing your insight. I love the fact that you're from Maryland, and I love the fact that you went from here to Canada. We are actually going to visit Canada very soon, so
Nice.
we I really love the idea. So anyways, but thank you so much for everything, my friend. I
Thank you,
truly,
Ash.
truly appreciate you. Okay, so hang on 1 second. Okay, just give me 1 second, my friend. Okay, don't leave, give me 1 second. All right, for those of you here, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to Financial Chakras podcast, Abundance Through Alignment. As me and Jaden, we have given you three three wealth secrets that schools don't teach you. And one of the first one, as we had talked about, is truly, 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 believing in magic, right? Really waking up every day, thinking about abundance and attracting abundance the right way. Second, we talked about logic and making sure that you have the steps that are necessary for you to win. But most importantly, we gave you science, a scientific way where you can actually, help yourself in multiple different ways. Obviously, we cannot give you financial advice. However, what we can tell you is this is what they don't teach you in school. So with that in mind, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate you. I love you very, very much. And it's my wish to the universe that may it give you all health, wealth, and happiness that you deserve. My friend, namaste. Thank you so much for joining Financial Chakras, Abundance Through Alignment. I'll see you next time. Namaste. Thank you.